Now, South Africa completed a sporting double over England at the weekend with a 16-15 win at the rugby, following a 229-run thrashing in the Cricket World Cup. Absolutely unbelievable. It leaves defending champions England in real danger of missing out in the semi-finals. Only by winning all 5 of the remaining group games did they have any real chance of making it through. I'm absolutely delighted to say that joining us now is friend of the show, England cricket legend, is David Bumble Lloyd. David, a very good morning to you. How are you this morning?
Morning, David.
Yeah, not bad at all. Great chat. Loving the chat. Enjoyed the rugby. Enjoyed the football over the weekend. By the way, that the Liverpool derby, your summary and Ferdinand gravitas, absolutely brilliant.
Thanks very much, David. That's very, very much appreciated. And the reason we've got you on here right now is because you're going to do hopefully the exact same thing. What is, David, I'm the Tartan Army version of the England Barmy Army. I love the England cricket team. However, I'm actually staggered at what's happening.
They're disorganised, aren't they? So before the competition started, all the other teams would have been talking and wary about England, not now. And you're dead right. They've got to win the next 5 to qualify for the semi-finals. They look in disarray. They're disorganised. They don't know what the team is. They got the toss hopelessly wrong. So everything went wrong. And so they got absolutely hammered by a very, very impressive South Africa.
Dave, just quickly, you mentioned you get the toss wrong there. Was that due to the reason, the conditions of the heat, so you didn't want to go out in the field that early?
Well, that's part of it, but it's alarming when you hear them after the game say, well, we looked at the stats and the games in the past. That's gone. It's about right now. What's best for your team? And for me, whether it's old school or not, if you win the toss out in India, bat first, rack them up, and then put the opposition under pressure, which is exactly what happened to England.
David, we saw the rugby. We saw with the England rugby team going into the tournament, they were really struggling. Then gradually they started to find their momentum. Look, do you feel England can, in the situation they find themselves in, gradually get back to their best and go on and become a major threat in the competition?
Well, I'm a fan. First and foremost, I'm a fan. But the facts are that they're playing really poor, hesitant cricket. I was reading Michael Vaughan and he said, I can't believe the way that the test team are playing this gung-ho cricket, that the 50-over team look really hesitant. Get out there and sort of try and dominate the game. They've not been able to do that. Now, I don't go with, they're out of form. I don't go with that. I think they're underprepared. I mentioned on the programme last week that in preparation for this, they played 3 matches against Ireland in England. In late September, they got rained off. So that's no preparation.
David, I want to ask you, I sat on a good day yesterday. I was just chilled on the couch, never moved, had my sporting day on a Sunday, watched about the cricket. There's been some good performances. I thought, 1 or 2 teams have looked impressive. New Zealand looked good actually against England, but against India beaten obviously by, I think, a top side. I actually fancy India to win it. But I specifically want to ask you about the run out. Was Kohli to blame for that run out?
Well, he usually is. All the talk. Let's get this right. He is a fantastic player. He is a fabulous player. And if we're talking about run-outs, I hope one of my mates, Jeffrey Boycott, is listening to this, because he was the king of the run-outs. He would never run out himself. And he used to chuckle if he used to think, I've got him again, I've done him again. But Kohli's always looking for 100. He looked for 100. But he is a wonderful player, a fantastic player. I'm with you right from the start. I said in India, they've got the conditions, they've got the crowd. And that's another thing. The crowd have only turned up if India are playing. Yeah. And that's the way that it is. They only turn up if India's playing.
Can England do it? Bumble, can they? I mean, it looks a big ask in current form and the opposition they've got to play.
Well, they've got to stand up. You need leadership. You need your senior players to come to the fore. They've nothing to lose. I said they've been hesitant. Get out there, give it a bash and see where it takes you. I don't fancy them, but I really hope they can do it.
Me too. Bumble, as usual, fantastic to talk to you this morning. Thanks for taking the time. We always really appreciate it. Now, coming up, we hear a collection of the best tributes we've heard on talkSPORT to the legend that is Sir Bobby Charlton.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.